Here's how it works, George. We have 2 visitor centers. People come and they ask us questions. They call us, they text us, they email us, they Facebook us. And this segment's called We Get Questions. Here we go.
Okay.
First one we got is we are visiting and we notice in the winter there are people in the fields, in the vines, long rows of people doing something.
Yes.
What are they doing out there?
The vineyards go to sleep. They go dormant at a particular time, usually after a long cold spell. Vines will go to sleep. That is the best time in the winter to trim them back, to prune them.
Okay.
And so that's what you're seeing in the vineyard. Workers all by hand. There are not many machines designed to do this kind of very detailed work, to clip off the extraneous cordons and keep the good ones.
Got it.
For next year.
That
Next year sometimes comes very fast. I've seen some of these vines bud out in February.
Oh wow!
When the weather suddenly gets warm for a day or two.
Right.
I've seen it happen. But yes, the vineyards are being pruned.
Got it. It's just pruning, and they're cutting the grapevines to set up the next harvest. Okay, good. Have you ever done that?
I have.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you still have all your fingers?
No, but I had to wear gloves and I used the clippers. And
those guys are so fast.
Using.
They're insane. When you see the professionals out there, there's like boom, 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 boom. Pull the canes, throw on the ground.
Yeah.
They don't stop.
And all those canes that get thrown on the ground, they're actually mulched.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Some point there'll be a tractor or something goes through there and chops them all up.
Goes back to the soil. Okay.
Yeah.
Another question we got is we love going to wineries. We're not big wine drinkers, but we like gardens and like vegetable gardens and just beautiful gardens. Are there any wineries that have those?
Oh my gosh. Look, I'm not shilling for Kendall Jackson, but they have one of the great gardens in Sonoma County.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
Right.
Matanzas Creek has a beautiful lavender garden. But
that's beautiful in June, by the way. Like that's just ridiculous. It's just like lavender as far as I can see.
I mean, this is the time of year when things kind of look a little barren, but there's always something going on in the winery garden this time of year.
Absolutely.
But the best time is to see it in spring or summer.
Okay, good. Question we got is we've talked about the plants. Let's talk about the animals. I've heard that there might be mountain lions in Sonoma Valley. Is that true?
I guarantee you there are mountain lions everywhere in California, and Sonoma Valley definitely.
Yeah.
We had one walking in my backyard down at Santa Barbara. These are creatures that are part of the landscape. They have always been part of the landscape. Mountain lions, bears, some cases wild pigs, wild turkeys, but it would not surprise me to see a mountain lion in Sonoma Valley or anywhere in Sonoma County. And a lot of the wineries actually have open spaces that so that these animals can cut through their properties. So there's none of these animals are being constrained necessarily in their normal travels up creeks or across the terrain.
Yeah, I think most of the grape growers, they're 99.9% of them are very much attuned with their land. That's how they get the better yields.
Yeah.
And so they'll leave those wildlife corridors because they're important.
Yeah. I've photographed many vineyards that had wildlife corridors.
Have you seen a mountain lion, like a photographed one?
I have only photographed one once, but I must say I heard a spectacular fight between a couple of mountain lions once where it was just the most bone-chilling, and they were going at it. It was just right kind of over in the trees away from me, and it was wild.
I would have had to change my underwear. That would have been terrifying.
Yeah, you don't really want to have an encounter with a mountain lion, and they don't really want to encounter you. But I must say it's not out of the realm of possibility that you will see. I see pictures on posts from my friends of bobcats in their
A lot of
yard,
bobcats. Yeah. And I love the trail cameras. Here we have the Sonoma Ecology Center up, and they run Sugarloaf State Park, and they have some trail cameras. They capture, like you said, the mountain lions and the bears. The bears are impressive, but the mountain lions, when you see those paws, they are not small. No. And the mountain lions are huge. And I'm like, I'm so happy I don't see you. They see you, but I'm happy I don't see them.
Yeah.
And they just stay over there.
You know, one Christmas a few years ago, we had a bear marching through Solvang.
Oh, my God.
and it wasn't like the bears that you see up in South Lake Tahoe where, you know, they're looking through, you know.
Those bears are professionals. They ride the bus, and they know how to pick locks. Yes.
This was just one that came down out of the hills. It was during the drought.
Okay.
Probably looking for water.
Yeah, that's what they do. Okay. Here's a question about wine. You know a thing about wine.
I do.
Oh, a little bit. A visitor says, we are looking for a winery, but we like sweeter wines. What should we do?
Well, first of all, check out if there's something that catches your eye in terms of a name of a winery or something that you want a winery that you want to visit. Go on their website and just check to see if they're making any of these sweeter wines. And when I say sweeter wines, I don't mean a Cabernet or a Chardonnay or a Merlot or a Pinot Noir. This would probably be along the lines of a Riesling.
Okay.
And let's see, what else? A Riesling and
sometimes like the port.
Gewürztraminer.
Oh, yeah. So those wines that are naturally sweeter.
Yeah. And they're made in those styles, the Germanic styles, where they're sweeter. But you can find these wines. They're all over California and you know, up in the Anderson Valley of Mendocino County. Right. A number of the wineries up there are making sweet wine, not dessert wine, not the. I mean, they're probably doing dessert wine, but I'm just. They have a touch of residual sugar that gives it a sweetness to it.
Got it. Okay. Because, sometimes when you have a very sweet wine, like a dessert wine.
Yeah, dessert wines are higher in alcohol, too.
That's the problem. You drink that like it's a glass of wine.
Yeah.
Then you've got a problem.
Yeah. I mean, then you're off into port territory.
Yeah, and you're having problems. You don't feel good. Last question. Yeah, like I said, people come up and ask us all sorts of questions, George. So the question is, someone came up and they said, hey, I'm here, and I'm from, Solvang, and I want to take really good Instagram photos. Should I use my iPhone or should I use a real camera?
Oh, my. Well, listen, I am a huge fan of my iPhone 15 Pro Max, and I am a huge fan of my real DSLR cameras that have full-size sensors and can create incredibly massive files of beauty. I must say the advances of the phone cameras really lend themselves to going light, and I am now shooting an awful lot of photography with my phone.
Okay.
I don't do a lot of selfies of me. I usually hand my phone to somebody to take, just because I don't like the angle, the kind of slightly distorted angle. And so I give my camera to somebody if I want a picture of me, I give it to them, and I'll go stand underneath the windmill. But I see a day where Apple is probably going to fix some of their issues with the telephoto lenses. I mean, the telephoto version on the iPhone is not quite up to snuff. All the other lenses, and you can see there's quite a number of them on the back.
Yeah.
All the other lenses are fantastic.
Okay.
This camera is so amazing, and it's amazing in low light situations.
Right.
And here in the studio, we're all lit up. You can take beautiful portraits.
Right.
But if you're into Instagram, this camera will send you directly to the internet
Right.
And you can post pictures straight from it, which is what most people do.
Yep. And you can edit. Some
can
people
edit
do the super saturation and all that sort of tricks. And
I
stuff.
mean, I just did a video as I crossed the Golden Gate Bridge the other day. I haven't been across the Golden Gate Bridge in a long time, so I took a video and I put it to music and I put it on Instagram Reels. I got like 100 people are saying, "Oh God, this is great! This is great!" It's been done 100 times before. I've never done it, but I'm having fun.
Right.
If I was a betting man, I'd put all my chips on Instagram. I love Instagram because it's all about the photography.
Right.
Facebook is a little bit more about the stories and the trials and tribulations.
Well, and arguing with your neighbors.
But Instagram, love it.
Okay, so the answer is if you're going to do it, you can do fine with your phone.
Yeah. These books
Yeah.
were all shot on Canon 5D Mark III digital cameras, 24 megapixels. I mean, it's
the whole 9 yards there.
Big. However, there is a little Easter egg in this book. There is one photo that was shot with an iPhone, and you will never be able to tell.
I'm gonna go through it and find out. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's a good answer. I like that one. It's like, and if only you could go back and tell those Allied Domet guys that, hey, I'm going to take with my phone a video and put on this internet thing, and it's going to be huge. They would.
I'm telling you, I nobody knew what to make of, and so it was kind of fun to see everybody stumbling back in the '90s about what to do with this newfangled thing called the internet.
How do we solve the problem of internet,
or the interweb, as one person called it, and really, we have to have a place where we put all of our pictures and information, and that's how we're going to sell wine someday. And it's like nobody had any inkling.
Magic, George. It was going to be magic.
Yeah,
George, it's been wonderful having you here.
Thanks,
the book again is called California's Changing Landscape: The Way of Water. Photography and your words by George Rose.
Yes.
Okay, and people can find it at calnatureartmuseum.org, or they can personally drive down to Solvang and see you on a Saturday out there taking photos.
You come down to Solvang and go to the front desk at the museum and tell them to call George over. I'll give you a personal tour.
I love it.